Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. This Marlena and John anniversary in bed, they usually have the strawberries and everything. And he turned around and he gave her like buttered whipped cream and a cup. And I'm like, okay, so I haven't been watching the show that long, but I know that strawberries is their usual thing. And he was like, let's try something a little bit different. So I got that and some edible body massage. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? He was like, oh, I figured, let me go to the store and get something else. I would have sat there and be like, get out. You know, and this is not something that she even seems that she can eat. Like the whipped cream, strawberry stuff. I'm like, how would you actually give her this stuff for? I don't understand that. I know that there's that you're trying to go for something a little bit different, but I'm like, if that was the case, then they really should have went for something different. Why do me want to sit there and be like, did they just not have the budget to sit there and get the strawberries? Because I would have donated some extra cash for them to sit there and get it if that was the case. I don't understand why they didn't have strawberries. I'm sorry, I can't let that go. You got Gwen Teresa, okay, at this point that's not going to call her, having a dream about Alex finding out. As she forced a letter and everything, she wakes up, she decides to go get him breakfast. She runs into Constantine. Um, then runs into Xander. They get their little back and forth thing going. And of course, Xander's like, yeah, you figure if you last on long enough, you could sit there and give you some breadcrumbs or whatever. She gets back to the place. And then Alex, like, the way he walks up to her and starts asking her about a job, it makes her think that, oh man, he knows about what I did. But instead, he just wants her to work he just wants her to work with him as far as reviving the Bella magazine. And it just seemed like such the laziest fake out. One of the things I did like was the scene with Steve, Kayla, Constantine, and Maggie because, right from jump, um, Constantine just comes across as kind of a manipulative sleazeball, and Steve just saw right through him. He kept eyeing him the whole time like, yeah, there's something not right about him. And of course, he, comes in with these tablecloths talking about, oh, this was something from Victor, one of his villas or whatever, and, I figured it'd be a good time to, bring them out for some crumpets and tea or something like that. And Maggie goes to get things set up. Constantine walks in with her. And Steve, he looks at the tag. He's like, yo, this isn't from. He's not there talking. He was like, yo, there's something about this dude. It's just not right. And he looked at the tag from one of the inside the boxes or whatever, and it literally says from like Saxton stores. And he's like, "Are you just straight up lied?" And he seemed like he wanted to confront it right then and there. But Kayla was like, "No, it's not a good idea because, he could just we don't know his true one second. We don't know his true motives." And I can see it playing out where Steve confronts him just about the napkins. And, he could just be like, oh, well, what's it then try to do something nice? And she defends him, ingratiating him more into her life. So, Steve was like, you know what, listen, I'm going to sit there and look more into her. Um, Brady and Eric was there. They didn't really do too much. They came there with some anniversary gift for Marlena and John. And while Sarah's talking to Xander about, how about we not do the custody thing today because, my mother and her anniversary. He was like, all right, fine, I can do that, whatever. It seemed like they're getting along. And then Eric comes over and Eric's like, yeah, I've been served by Sloan to sit there and testify against her, against Sarah. So at this point, she's like, listen, I'm livid, okay? Because every time I sit there and try to give you grace and try to give you the benefit of the doubt, you find a way to sit there and screw me over once again. So she's like, screw it, whatever. Um, I'll see you in court, pretty much. And I knew that was going to wind up happening. Okay, I knew that was going to wind up happening because the moment was too nice. The moment was too sweet and it was too nice, and I was like, yeah, at some point, the hammer's going to drop. Reality's going to sit there and set it, and they're going to be back at each other's throats. So honestly, to tell you the truth, I just kept looking at my phone like, yep, it's going to happen any minute now. And of course, like clockwork, it did. Um, Constantine, just being a scumbag. You know, I was going to say, I don't know if this was a full anniversary, like maybe it's the 50th year or whatever. I'm not too sure. I gotta look through that. I would sit there and say it wasn't bad because it did actually have some good stuff in it. So I can't sit there and say it was bad. It could have been better, but it could have been worse. I would sit there and say it was decent. I'm pretty sure, and I didn't watch General Hospital yet, but I'm pretty sure that it was still probably better than General Hospital. And that's the sad thing is that even for an episode that was like wasn't too crazy, it was still good, and I know it's still better than General Hospital. Now, if I do my General Hospital review and I'm wrong, I'll sit there and be like, all right, cool. But I just have this sinking feeling that I'm not wrong about it. Anyway, I think that's pretty much about it. Just the general thoughts of it. I thought it was actually a pretty decent episode, even for what would be a slow episode. It still feel like it was more. It still felt like it was interesting. I was gonna say it seemed like it was more. It was actually more interesting than yesterday's episode of General Hospital. And I know I've been on this whole quote unquote bash in General Hospital, but I've been watching the show longer, and I feel like it can do better. So, like I said, if I'm more harsher on it, it's because I generally grew up watching it, and it's something that's been very close to me for a long time. Even and again, even on episodes like this or days where it's like, oh, it wasn't super amazing, it was still pretty good. So definitely check it out. With that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. Now, if I did miss anything, you know what to do. Come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll sit there and talk about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Born the Beautiful, and The Young and Restless. With that being said, I'm gonna go. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.